Hey, hello friends. Today we are meeting to kind of learn how to serve a hosted vision language model, specifically speaking of Qwen. So you might have already kind of loaded and used the vision language model or any other LLM to inference and get the results like this, but honestly this is something which you will only be working inside your local system. But what we want to kind of host a model and then serve it and use that particular API endpoint or any URL to use this particular hosted model in anywhere in your either local system, your any app apart from this particular server. So that is whole idea, and let's get started. Let's see how to do that. So first of all, the main idea is we'll be using Qwen model. Why? Because Qwen 2.5 3 billion model, because we are currently very GPU poor. We are using Google Colab free version, and for that, uh, our available GPU resources are only 15 GB. What we need is a model which can be which fits this memory size. So 3 billion model, Qwen 3 billion model at FP16 will be quite well working under this memory constraint. We'll talk more about it in the next video or so, where we'll discuss more on how to decide which model will take how much space at which precision in a particular um, uh, GPU and how much memory it will require, so to say. Let's get started then. We'll first of all install all the dependencies, and let me be very specific, please try to use this version only. Anyways, I'll be pasting the link to this particular Colab notebook in the description, because apart from this I have seen there was a cyclic dependency issue which got solved after lot of hit and trial method. So best way, use these dependencies. vLLM, okay, so vLLM is a framework which we'll use to serve our model. What is difference between normal vLLM and normal serving and serving with vLLM? It kinds of uses a paged attention, which makes serving efficient and easier. So we'll talk more about it in details in another video, but for now this is more of a implementation video. So next dependency is transformer, and then obviously Qwen model. We'll move forward, and then you will have to restart the runtime from here. Why? Because this Colab will already have some of the caches which might not get used. So in order to use this installed dependencies, we need to restart the runtime so that our session could pick up those particular versions. And then, so there are two ways. First of all is directly using transformers library to download a model and then use it for inference. And here are some parameters which we need to set. So this is data type, which we have set as float 16, but in normally bfloat 16, that is bf16 is used, but our free memory GPU is doesn't support bf16, so we are using f16 fp16, so to say. Then we have some more parameters which needs to be set in a way that our model is able to catch them and work correctly in the constraint of the available GPU. That's why we have set max model length, the context window, or not context window, the length of the output of the model, input plus output, should be less than 4096, less than equal to. And then we have limited number of images in a particular prompt as 2, but I have later on changed it to 1 because it was throwing out of memory error. So that's it. Then, as I said, this is normal way of downloading and then inferencing the vLLM model, which is Qwen. But we'll mostly focus on how to serve it, right? So that's why we won't be using this way, rather we'll be using vLLM. So for that we have to use this command. Reason being, using vLLM, if we download and host the model in this way, we can get the endpoint of our model, which can so that we can do inference from that particular endpoint from other machine or local machine, so that we don't have dependency on this local host 8001. Think of it like in a ChatGPT or maybe OpenAI, you may have used OpenAI API key, right? So it's this serving of using vLLM, it will kind of do the same thing. Using ngrok, we'll be getting our own URL which we can use, and that will act as a unique key, and we can use this hosted model in any either local machine or other device if we have the URL. So I have already run this to save the time, and here is what the first inference I have got. So this is an image URL, and I have asked, okay, what is happening in this image and what is the gender of the person. So see, if I run it, I'll be getting the answer. So what is happening, both the image as well as text is passed to our vLLM, that is Qwen 2.5 VL3 billion model, and we have got the response, and that's great. It says, in the image, a woman is sitting on the beach with her dog. The woman appears to be interacting with her dog by giving it a high five. Let's see, rather than simply how it looks like. Great. And then let's check, let's move forward. Okay, what else we need? Can we check, here we have used a image URL, can we do it on local image? Absolutely yes. I have already found out an image for you. It looks something like this, and ask the model to tell what is exactly present in the, what is happening in this beach. So let's find that out. Get it. So in the meantime, as you can see, it says the image depicts a lively beach scene. Very well, it has found out that people are enjoying the beach with many sitting under colorful umbrellas and on towels. Great, it has picked up that too. And at last, the beach is crowded with people. This is something you can cross validate. So yeah, congratulations, we are able to infer our own hosted vLLM model, but we are still missing a piece over here. As I have promised you earlier, we might be getting we will be getting a unique key which can be used to use this particular hosted VL model, and can be used in other machine as well. So here's how to do that. Pip install pyngrok. From here, get your own free key, use this key over here, and then whenever you host this, we'll be getting an unique ngrok tunnel. So what this means is, our vLLM server is running inside Google Colab on something like localhost 8001, but localhost only exists inside the Colab machine. Your laptop, phone or another application cannot access it. That's where ngrok comes in. Ngrok creates a secure tunnel between your Colab server or whatever GPU server you are working on and the internet. So instead of using localhost 8001, we can directly use this particular link. So, and as I said, that would be OpenAI compatible link. So after using this link, we can kind of have our own API calls to our VL model. So let's say I ask it, describe the process of KV cache and what is, let's say, and also talk about immediate attention. Very well. We'll run it and check how it responds. Mm-hmm. And beautiful thing about it is we'll check in another video. What I'll be trying to do is I'll have my own RAG application ready, and which will be calling or hitting this particular URL. So instead of using some third party LLM model or vLLM model, we'll be using our own hosted VL model, and that would be quite interesting to see. As we can see, our response has already been generated, which is talking about KV cache and then page attention also. We'll, in further videos, we'll go into depth of what exactly each of these pieces work. This was more like a demo video where we got our hands dirty with all those terminologies as well as implementation of how to load and host this VLM model. So yeah, that's it. I would like you to try it on your own and give any suggestions or your experience with how you dealt with this. Yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot.